Okay, I'm Rob Morton, and we live here at Awaroa Bay on a piece of land, 170 hectares we're lucky enough to have with some people. I run Gulf Trees Tree Nursery, native trees we grow here, and we're into conservation on this land. Well, my connection to the Gulf goes back a long time. I was brought up on the North Shore of Auckland back in the 1960s, and we were beside the sea. We sailed as kids, always sailed and always fished. That was just my whole life, you know, all holidays, all weekends after school I was down there. I've loved the Gulf all that time. Waiheke sort of became as a result of that, like just sailing and finding places, different islands, and we came out here in the early 80s and realised it was a good place. There's something special about it being an island, and that's, you know, something I still feel today. I've noticed a lot of changes in the Gulf over, well, I guess it's 50 years. I think sort of in abundance the Gulf has probably changed. I don't think it's quite the place I knew as a kid. Like when we were sailing boats out off Castor Bay, there'd be boil-ups of Kahawai, acres of extent on a Sunday morning, you know, calm sea, and just this whole place would erupt amongst the sailing boats. Well, we don't see that anymore, unfortunately. You know, the odd boil-up, you know, where the fish are working and the birds are working, they're quite small and quite isolated, and that's a difference. And I guess you'd have to say fish stocks have come down quite a lot since those days. I think it's overpopulation probably. You know, we're really hammering the Gulf because there's so many of us here, and we've got such a, not only we're going out fishing, and if you go out, you know, take the quick cat to Auckland on a Sunday morning, you see the fishing boats out in the Motuihi Channel, and there's probably hundreds, you know, and this is quite typical all around the Gulf. You know, there's a lot of fishing pressure, noise, you know, if you go out sailing, the noise of boats is immense, and the wake sort of disturbance. It's not a peaceful place so much anymore. I suppose one of the big issues, and one that is really hard to get to grips with, is climate change. That has to impact natural areas like this really big time. And it's a kind of difficult one to deal with because it's not just a local issue or a national issue, it's just worldwide. How do you stop climate change? I don't know. It's super important, and it impacts significantly on the Gulf. So, you know, that's a major issue we've got to look at, as well as all the little minor issues in the Gulf we've got to address as well. But, you know, we've got to look really big picture. These issues that, you know, challenging the Gulf, the solution to them is it's just really wide. You know, there's so many ways to approach it. You know, legislatively you could sort of do something to stop sort of overfishing, for instance. Marine reserves, you know, to me have got to be the solution, and I know they're sort of legislative, and, you know, you can't do this and that doesn't go down well with people, but I don't think we've got actually much option, and we're not sort of asking a hell of a lot for marine reserves in the Gulf. At the moment we've got stuff all, we've got, I don't know if you've seen a picture of the Gulf and you've seen the marine reserves on it, but they're tiny little sort of specks. I think the general feeling is that they should be 30% of the Gulf. One of the ways that we can help the Gulf and make things change is such things as future search, which is about to happen on the island, and that's tremendous amount of community input into it. It comes from such a broad spectrum of people, and we're all sort of getting together, and it's incredibly democratic, I would have thought, and I think probably we'll come up with a really good mandate which politicians will listen to. You know, they really have to once the community sort of speaks in that manner, and so, you know, if we come up with some good ideas, I'm sure they'll be implemented. It's just awareness, and I see a whole lot of young people getting really involved in conservation, you know, seabird protection, and it fills me with confidence, and that's the way forward. We do have to be really vigilant and speak up for this Gulf. We just got to make our voices heard, and politicians will listen. I mean, that's how politics works. You know, they want to get re-elected, and they kind of want to, basically I think they want to do the right thing, but yeah, pressure is the only way. We've just got to speak out, you know, see what's happening, and kick up a fuss if we don't like it.